So what are government and economy? What do those words mean? Government is a system by which a country is ruled. So what type of laws or rule system does a country have? Okay? Some countries are ruled by one person. Some elect people. In some countries, every person has a say. So there are many different types of governments or ways that people are ruled. Economic systems or economy is a little bit different. That is the system by which a country makes or produces goods to buy and sell in order to make money. So how does a country make money and spend money? That's what economy is. So there are two types of each that we're going to talk about, two governments and two economies. And we're going to start with one type of economy called capitalism. Capitalism is a type of economy. The main principle or idea behind capitalism is that it's based on the individual person's right to buy and sell goods or things. You have the right to go to Stop and Shop and buy whatever food you want, or go to the mall and get whatever clothes you want. Okay? In a capitalist a capitalist economy, people produce and sell goods to make money. So if you open a store, your goal is to make money from that store. Private ownership of production is another important piece. The government does not own stores or businesses or malls. They don't own them. The people own them. Individual people own them. Individual companies own the matter of production. Factories that make sneakers or shoes or farmers that grow food, they own their own means of production of goods, and they can sell it however they like. The United States is a capitalist economy. In our country, we have the ability to buy and sell whatever we like. The individuals own their businesses for the most part, or companies own their businesses, but the government has a limited say in our economy. Now, the next type of economy is communism, which is basically the complete opposite of capitalism. It's based on the idea of equality between all citizens, which sounds like a really good idea, but it's actually a very difficult thing to accomplish. In communism, the idea is that no one person should have any more or any less than anybody else. They shouldn't have anything better. Nobody should be extremely poor. Nobody should be extremely wealthy. Everybody should be just about the same. They kind of believe that communism needs to happen with an overthrow of the government. So usually communist countries happen through a revolution of some kind, which we'll see through the history of Russia. It became a communist country through a revolution or a change in government. In a communist economy, the government owns the means of production. So instead of in a capitalist economy where the people own the farms or the stores or the factories that produce goods, in a communist government, the government owns the farms and the factories and the stores that produce goods. In our world right now, there are communist countries, and there are countries that used to be communist that are no longer. So a few examples of countries who have a history of communism are the USSR, which is currently Russia today. China is currently a communist country, as is Cuba. So there are still communist countries in the world. Now let's talk about some governments, okay? Dictatorship is the first type of government I want to talk about. It's a type of government where the country is ruled by one all-powerful person, and that person usually takes power by military force or violence. So they usually do something in order to get their power, usually through using military or through violence. A dictator typically takes away the rights or freedoms of people in their country. Usually in a dictatorship, the people are not allowed to say things against the ruler. Voting doesn't happen because they want all power, and so you don't have a change of presidents or a change of leaders. The dictator takes power and keeps it for many years usually. Some examples of dictators through history: Adolf Hitler, who is shown right here. Joseph Stalin from the USSR. He was a dictator during the Soviet Union. And a more current one, Kim Jong-il from North Korea. He recently passed away, but he was a dictator of North Korea. These three men took power and kept power through force and by taking away the rights of people. So dictatorship is one type of government. The next type of government is democracy. Democracy was actually invented by the ancient Romans, and the idea was that every person in a society should have the right to have a say in government. And usually that say comes through the form of a vote. Okay, there are two main kinds of democracy. There's a direct democracy where every citizen has a say for every vote that takes place. So in a direct democracy, if a law is going to go up for a vote about new street signs in a town, every single citizen would have the opportunity to vote. The second type that you need to know is called a representative democracy, which is the type that the United States has. In a representative democracy, what happens is the citizens elect individuals who will cast their votes for them. So when we have our elections for congressmen and representatives and president and different mayors, different members of our government, we are choosing people to represent us and have our say through them. So that is the second type of democracy. Direct democracy and representative democracy. The United States is a representative democracy. So those are the four things that you need to know for this center. Two economies, capitalism and communism. Two types of government, dictatorship and democracy. Now you're going to share what you learned about yours and what you heard about yours with the rest of the group and make a case for why Italy should adopt your type of government or your type of economy. Good luck.